Hello everyone, this is Dr. Ibrahim. Hope you are doing okay. In this video, I'm going to highlight some of the important facts about one of the common stations in the exam, which is a problem with your colleague. It's actually a common station in PLAB 2 exam and in hospitals and also in your job interviews after that. So you have to know how to master such kind of station. And before going ahead, you have to bear into your mind some important facts about this station, which is in such a kind of station, you will be asked to manage a situation where a medical error happened or one of your colleagues have done something against the good medical practice. Okay? So you will need to know the good medical practice for the situation, and you need to measure like what happened against the good medical practice, and also you need to keep the patient safety as your first priority. And you don't have only one patient such a station. It could be two patients, even three patients. Like for example, if it's a problem with one of your colleague, like have done something wrong with one of the patient, so the first patient in the situation or the first person that you have to deal with in the situation will be your the patient, and second one will be your colleague. And sometimes there could be even more than two-person. Could be one of the other medical personnel like a nurse or a doctor in the situation. Could be one of the relative. So you have to give some time and you have to give a part of your management to each person in the station. It is very important. You will be marked for those points. As I said, patient safety is the first priority, but at the same time, you have to deal with your colleague in a nice way. It is not a judgmental station, which is a common, avoidable, and fatal mistake at the same time in such a kind of station. Like when you have such a station in the exam, you start to judge your colleague why you have done this one, why you did that, and you shouldn't have done this, and you shouldn't have done that, and you start to judge your colleague. It is important to highlight the good medical practice for the situation, but at the same time, try to deal with your colleague in a nice way. That's why it is one of the ethical situation. It is one of the ethical aspects, and it is a balance. You have to keep the patient safety as your first priority, and you have to be nice with your colleague because there could be some personal circumstance behind what he have done. He might not know about the rules or the good medical practice in this situation. Okay, or he might have some illness, for example. I'm talking in general, but I will give an example for it right now. Okay, so the first thing is to try to highlight, to understand, try to ask the history part of such a station is to investigate what happened. Like you have been told by one of the nurses that your colleague come late to the hospital, or and he under influence of alcohol, and or you have been told that he have like he had cocaine yesterday in one of the parties, or you have seen like some cocaine, some white powder, for example, in your colleague like bucket, for example. So you have to investigate first. Don't assume. Don't start with assumption in such a station. It is also one of the common avoidable mistake. Okay, so you have to investigate, which is a history part. It doesn't need to be long history. Okay, it doesn't need to be long history. Just investigation about what happened. I would start in such kind of station with with breaking the ice with your colleague. Like introduce yourself, ask him about the work, ask him about like what is happening around, if he is facing any troubles, like asking a general question, and after that start to get into the deep of the situation itself. Okay, and after that explain why you are here today, why you came today. Okay, and why you have been asked to do. Okay, and as I said, the patient safety is the first priority. Sometimes it will be a tough situation in the exam. Okay? So you have to be prepared to be nice with your colleague and to be diplomatic and to explain to him how serious what he have done, like in regards to the good medical practice or the NHS or the GMC guidelines. Okay? As I said, it is some kind of balance. And I would say try to push your colleague to give you the answer for the question after that, like after explaining how serious what he have done. Okay, try to let him think what you will do next. Okay, make it two-way conversation. Okay, I will give an example to make everything clear. Okay, there is a common situation where you will be asked to discuss with one of the FY1 colleague in your hospital in emergency, because you have been told that he posted something about one of the patients that came yesterday in the E&E. Okay, this is a typical exam case scenario. So you have been told that he posted something about one of the patients that came yesterday to the NA, and you are FY2 and he's FY1. Okay? Just for your knowledge, both you and him nearly at the same level. Okay? So don't deal with your colleague as you are the senior. I've seen it a lot actually from many people, and I know that it could be the attitude in some back home hospital, but actually here it is nearly the same level. Maybe he is in the hospital even before you. So it is your colleague. Even if you are a registrar, even if you are a consultant, it is your colleague. But in PLAB 2 exam, you will be if junior doctor or F2 doctor. Okay, so I would start with like if his name is George, for example. I would start with, hi George, how are you? How you find the NE? Is it okay? Do you enjoy the work in NE? Is it busy? Okay. Is this your first rotation? What is like the next rotation for you? In this way, do you face any trouble nowadays? Do you have any interesting thing to discuss with me? Like, have you been told, for example, this is one of the questions, have you been told about what we are going to discuss today? No, I haven't been told. Okay, so I would say I have been told that you posted something yesterday about one of the patients. Are you aware of that? Okay. Yes, he would say yes, or he would like deny that. So try to push it hard with him. Try to give him more detail if there is more detail in the scenario. And if he said yes, try to ask him about the situation, the circumstance about this. And a common case scenario is that a patient came to E&E like saying that she's a queen of England, okay? Or because she was confused, for example. So or could be like a sarcastic situation, or like a hilarious situation. That's why he made a post or he recorded a video about the situation. So ask him about what happened from the start. Ask him where he posted the video. Was it in his Facebook page or in other social media websites or on a group? Okay, and ask him also in a nice way what was the reason for you posting this. Could be from his point of view, like for a medical reason. Could be just for fun. Ask him if he have told the patient about what happened or have discussed the patient. Ask him if the patient was confused or not, because even if the patient give him a consent to or agreed to post such thing in social media, it is irrelevant. It is irrelevant for two reasons. First of all, the patient will be confused at that situation, and even if the patient is not confused, it is not a good medical practice to do that. It is not a good medical practice, because someone will say, yeah, the patient was okay, he wasn't confused, and she agreed, for example, to put this post on social media. Okay, even at that point, it is against the good medical practice. Okay, I would ask him this question also. Do you know the circumstance or the consequence of uploading such post or writing such post on Facebook? Okay, because most of the time he might not know the outcomes of putting such post. Okay, so ask him in this way. It is like a teaching station, I would say. Okay, so instead of being judgmental, be helpful to your colleague. Okay, so tell him about the circumstances, which could be the patient will be angry, okay, because she doesn't expect something like that. She will become fine after that. I mean, she was confused, but now she's okay, and she regained her full consciousness, and she will be angry about what happened. The family might find out this video, and they might be angry. Even they might feel a complaint against you. This is one of the things that usually lead to complaints against the NHS. It could become like very trendy. I have seen a lot of videos actually about like this those people who woke up from anesthesia and start to hallucinate. There is a lot of trendy videos on Facebook about such people. So and this could raise a public opinion against the NHS. And at the end, it is against the NHS guidelines. It is against the good medical practice for doctors. It is against the JMC guidelines. Okay, so this is the way you should explain to him the outcomes of putting such a post. If you explained it in this way without being judgmental, he will ask you as a colleague to advise him what he should do. But the same patient with one of your colleagues might disagree with everything because it is a different approach. So at the same day, in the same exam, one of the patient might be like asking what I should do in such a situation, and another role player would say, "No, I don't agree with you. No, it is not right." Like in this way. Okay, I would ask him to delete the post first. This is a management part of the situation, and I would ask him to discuss this with the patient and try to apologize about what happened, and if needed, to explain to the family. And I would ask to document also what happened in the patient notes. It might need also an incident form about what happened, like datics of what happened in this situation. So. And I would ask him also to explain to the senior what happened. Could be the registrar, could be one of the consultants, could be also the educational supervisor. So there is many people to highlight. So I would say explain to our senior. He is the best person to help us in such situation if things get into the wrong direction. Okay, so make it in an advisory way, not like as I said, not like a judgmental way or this is the rules. So, as I usually say in the exam, you have many cards. Don't throw all the cards at the same time. Give one card by one card by one card. So, I would say the senior would be the best person to help us in such situation. If you didn't agree, I would say this is actually the guidelines. This is the hospital rules. We have to be open to our senior. And I will manage my colleague by asking him to read about the social media guidelines or the good medical practice for doctor again. And I would offer him any help if he want at some point, like if he's like hesitant about some of the rules. You will be open to him to come and ask for any advice. Okay, this is the way you should deal with such situation. Actually, it should be a nice way. It should be like a helpful way rather than a judgmental way. Thank you for that, and I will meet you in another video.